he saw him emerge, a broken body from the cave. And his father said, Oy li, woe unto me that I see you so beaten like this. And Rav Shimon Bar Yochai said to his father-in-law, no, Ashrecha, fortunate that you see my pains, because these pains have turned into godless, into greatness. Precisely because of the challenge, I acquired faith. Precisely because of the challenges, I acquire empathy. Precisely because of the challenges, I acquire a deeper understanding of life. Very superficial people think Kabbalah is like some magic. Kabbalah is like some distant magic. Anybody who understands what Kabbalah is, Torah is the study of our life. Kabbalah is the depth of our life. Kabbalah is to understand life more. It's not out of us, it's in us. It's just a deeper understanding of our life circumstances. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai discovered and was an author of the Zohar and brought Kabbalah to the world means that through his difficulty created Kabbalah. It created a deeper understanding of life. Difficult things cause us to look a little deeper, to think a little harder, to see a little more, to tap into things that are deeper, to see Hashem even b'toich Esther. That's what Kabbalah is. And Rav Shimon Bar Yochai said to his father, Ashrecha, you're fortunate to see me in such difficulties, because that created my greatness. And his very words that he taught his father-in-law, and he taught all the Jewish people, are the words that we use to eulogize him. And we say about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, we say about him, Moishav Toiv Yashavta, you dwelled in a very good place. We're the only people on the world who call that rock cave a good place. It was horrendous. But we say in his eulogy, Moishav Toiv Yashavta, you had a very nice place, a beautiful home. Yoy Nasta, Yoy Masher Barachta, the day you ran away from the Romans. B'ma'ara Surim Shamadata, that rock cave that you dwelled. We all have our rock caves. We have times in our life, the Jewish people right now are in a rock cave. B'ma'ara Surim Shamadata, in that rock cave that you dwelled, Sham, precisely near Kanisa Haicham Adarecha, you acquire your beauty, your greatness. There, precisely there, your response to challenge, your response to difficulty. There and precisely there, Kanisa Haicham Adarecha, did you acquire your beauty. It's basically the national anthem of our yeshiva, B'ma'ara Surim Shamadata. It's a beautiful world. Beautiful. We all have our rock caves, difficult circumstances, difficult times, and Sham, precisely there, we acquire our beauty. At the end of his 12-year stay, Eliyahu Hanavi, whose job it is to bring good besurais, is given the task to tell Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, you can leave, the Caesar has died, and the Romans no longer want you to kill you. So Eliyahu Hanavi is given, what a good opportunity. Who doesn't like bringing good news? And Eliyahu is the Mevaser. His job is to bring besurais. One day he's going to tell us Mashiach's coming. Eliyahu, his name is the Mevaser, the bringer of tidings. And of course, he's asked, a lucky man, to give good news to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai to leave the cave. But fascinatingly, he doesn't say he should go in and tell Shimon Bar Yochai, great news, he should come and give him a massive hug and a kiss. Excellent, you're a free man. That's not what he does. He sits by the entrance of the cave, and he says, Man lo'idiyah le'Bar Yochai. Who is going to tell Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, the May Caesar, that the Caesar has died, and he's free to go out? That's what he's screaming by the entrance of the cave. Man, who's going to tell Bar Yochai that this? Who's going to tell you? Eliyahu Hanavi, you tell him. Who's going to tell? But that's what he's screaming by the cave. Who can tell Bar Yochai the Caesar died? And the Gzeir is over. And I think the reason, something always bothered me, Eliyahu, you won't tell. You, Eliyahu, I can't think of a better man. All he screams by the entrance of the cave is who can tell Bar Yochai. And I think his respect for challenges and how much greatness it brings out, he doesn't have the audacity to go in and say, Mazel Tov, it's over. None of us like challenges. None of us. We don't like it. And we ask Hashem for goodness that we can see and an announcement. Man, idea, who is big enough to tell Rabbi Yochanan that this Gzeir is over, he can leave the cave? I don't know who's big enough. So when they're schmoozing amongst the guys, I always think to call out, man, idea to the Bachram. Who is big enough to tell the guys, shh, let's greet Hashem? Who can stop Yidden from greeting each other? Who's big enough? Show me who's big enough to say Shabbat to a group of Yidden. Yidden that accept each other and greet each other and celebrate each other is big stuff. So the fact that everybody's meeting each other, this holy group of people that are incredible, incredible people, that you're greeting each other, I'm certainly not big enough to stop it. So we'll certainly get back to greeting and meeting each other. I really want to share one message, but first there are a few thank yous that are in order. And the first two thank yous that have to be said. This issue, the mothers are otherworldly. What goes on the mother's chat. My wife is a fellow mother, and from time to time will ask me something, point out something. The holiness that exists in the room is intimidating. We're seeing it's the yeshiva, the amount of growth that goes on in this campus is staggering. We're coming off of Shabbos. and I don't say that every kid in the yeshiva is ready to experience it. I have gone Project Inspire, the people here involved, is an incredible Shabbos for Klal Yisrael. They do great work. It's inspiring, and I'm not taking anything away from Project Inspire. You should go and enjoy it. It's amazing. That's like a main of the Shabbos here. What went on, this is the last Frieda Mishpach was here. I want families to come. What goes, the Shabbos is dazzling. There are guys who are ready to experience the whole Shabbos, and there are guys who can touch 5 hours of it, 3 hours, and even 5 minutes. We can give a toned-down version of Shabbos. We can present a fake Shabbos. I can arrange, we can play Gaga and Machanayim all Shabbos and do other things, and everybody will be worse off for it. I'd rather make it an authentic Shabbos experience. And then a buffer adds 5 minutes of an authentic experience, and maybe 10, and maybe 2 hours, and maybe even the whole time. And that buffer experiences something. The Shabbos is magical. And certainly the mothers here that have created this precious yeshiva, that guys have grown tremendously, you deserve a thank you. If you came up today just to get your thank you, you deserve. And we'll say some specific mothers who have been here a lot, but everybody deserves a thank you. But I want to speak about 2 ladies here that are, what they do to the yeshiva is heroic. It's a story that books will be written one day. To come every single Shabbos and create the Shabbosais, there are 2 ladies that dedication to the yeshiva is not normal. There's nothing normal about it. And weekly, they're here every single Shabbos. These 2 wives are here. Their kids don't necessarily have play dates when they're here. They come, they spend their time being their kids' play date. They spend their time being the mother of the whole place, of this whole environment in yeshiva. And I first want to thank somebody whose dedication to the yeshiva is the yeshiva, allows for the yeshiva. It's very funny when it's said there's an off Shabbos, like there's a weekend off. When there's a weekend off, this lady hosts 10, 15 guys in the house. That's an off weekend. Thursday night, there are 15 people here for supper. Friday morning breakfast, lunch, might say Shabbos, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. An off Shabbos for this person is probably more work than an in Shabbos. And so the first person, I want to thank my wife for everything she does. People ask, and we're going to discuss one specific point about the yeshiva. We believe in the yeshiva and we put our life on that fact. The yeshiva is our life, and we give our life. There's no such thing. Summer means sulam, and then afterwards the house is open. There's no summer, no winter, no spring, summer, and winter, but it's the yeshiva, all filled with the yeshiva. And my wife's dedication and belief in what the yeshiva is, this is not a theory to us. This is not something we're like espousing on some ivory tower. We've chosen to give our life to this cause and to put our life into this cause because we believe in it and see the results, tremendous results. And certainly it all belongs to her, and I thank my wife for all her Mesiras Nefesh, and putting in her belief in this mission. The second person here that puts in, and there's nothing normal, and weekly, non-stop. Everything that's successful about the yeshiva is from her husband. He's put together, he's dedicated, and she stands with the yeshiva. Rabbi Brownstein is the principal. And nonetheless, she believes in this mission and gives her life to it. Again, round the clock, summer and winter alike, and the appreciation to somebody. Every single success belongs. They own. We are finishing our 12th year. Next year will be our bar mitzvah of the yeshiva. And there are thousands of people, parents and relatives that are changed. She has a chilek in it all. So thank you, Rabbi Brownstein, for what you need to the yeshiva. There's somebody here, I do want to get to a point, but there's somebody here, the thank yous are worth more than my point. There's somebody here who's really taken on the yeshiva. She's the yeshiva mother, and the amount of guys, it's ironic. She gives hours and hours and hours not charging anything. And ironically, when I send Bachram to meet with her, to call her up, to get advice, so they always say she officially will set up maybe a therapist, maybe just a plan, maybe just encouragement. The guys always say, why can't she be my therapist? So that's 10 out of 10, that's the response. I know before that's going to be the response, but the amount that she has given to the yeshiva, just given herself as somebody who's just so dedicated, it's so cool that her children learned here and grew here, and what she has given to the yeshiva and to all of us, I thank Mrs. Guri for all her efforts. There are many names to mention. There are many names, and everybody here really kulam b'shemay zikro. I should go through all the names, but I just want to say that we can mention all the names of the mothers there. The way you encourage each other. We'll talk about the state of Klal Yisrael when everybody joins us. But the way the mothers here encourage each other. We come from different backgrounds, different cities, different places. But the way is such a picture for all of Klal Yisrael. People should see what goes on, just encouragement, chizuk, constantly from Mrs. Weberman, from Mrs. Lowy, all the different mothers, Mrs. Sandler, Mrs. Mandel. There's a guy in the yeshiva. I'm going to tell you a funny story. This mother will ask forgiveness. There's a lady here who's a tzaddikus, very hush. If you don't know her, you should go meet her after. And this tzaddikus, her son is one of the most gentle, kind people I've ever met. Saying that in Waterbury means a lot because we have the gentlest and kindest people in the world. This Baba in Yeshiva of Nice is the nicest. He's just a very special person. His name is Shimmy Stelzer. And his mother is here. His mother is listening to the shiur. And she is an incredible person, involved mother who gets her son, and the sun shines. She's sitting in the front, and right now is listening to the shiur that's being said to her, the shiur. And this Mrs. Stelzer is an involved mother, an understanding mother. And if she'll allow, I want to share a funny story that you might appreciate. Her son, we're a weird place. Not too many places there's a principal like encourage cutting class. But I admit my sins publicly that I like her son to come to Musservad. And her son was cutting English, not a good thing. You have to make sure he gets his diploma. But he was cutting English to come to Musservad every day. And Mrs. Stelzer is an incredible mother, and on top of it, and gets her son, and that's why he's so special. He's very close to her. And Mrs. Stelzer asked me that please encourage Shimmy. He really needs to go to English and not to Musservad. Please encourage him to go to English. When Mrs. Stelzer was home and not feeling so well with COVID, Shimmy was at her side, taking care of her like he learned from her. As she's healing, she sends me a text. So can I ask you a favor? Whenever he wants to cut English, let him go to Musservad. True story? But the mothers, the Hale of the imams and their belief in the guys, we're seeing miracles here. People love pointing and blaming. Teenagers could be energetic, and to raise a son who has high energy is a challenge. It's challenging. They're the people who change the world, who impact the world. Everybody knows it. But energetic guys, as they're young, can be challenges. But a mother who believes in her son, who supports her son, who's there, that's powerful. That's very, very powerful. And the miracles we see here, the impressive people, 1,000 B'nai Torah who've come out of yeshiva, the mothers get the most credit, more than anybody. I want to share a specific message that's important to me, that I would like to share with you today. A yeshiva, and in general, being a yid, is a world of aspiration. We aspire. We have dreams. We have hopes. We're people, if you defined us, we're aspirers. Because we serve Hashem and look to get better, there are endless levels of better. Not you, not me, none of us will ever be there. It's a continuous effort to grow and improve. When I was a youngster, I went to my Rabbi. I told him I love art scroll books about Gedolim. They're inspiring, they're interesting. However, I read the Torah, and our greats are criticized. Hashem, who made and created the art scroll writers, couldn't do as well as art scroll. And I recommend art scroll books. They're inspiring and amazing. But the Torah, our greats, are criticized, every one of them. Why did Hashem write it that way? And I can't repeat back his answer because I can only say what I understand from my Rebbe, not what he said then. I don't remember precisely. But the general lesson that I believe is that Yiddishkeit is about improvement. Our greats are not there. Our greats are growing. I love ladders, are my favorite item in the world. In my shul on Simchas Torah, we put a ladder, we dance around the ladder, we climb on top of the ladder. I love ladders. Because life is about advancing. We're not there, we're in a process. Nachman of Breslov used to scream at people who felt they were there. It's not about being there. Somebody who feels that there is very far from anywhere. One more time. Somebody who feels that there has not begun a journey. Life is about adding and growing. There's no but. He's growing but. There's no but. She's growing. It's about being the Kalish Shemayim, another level, another step, and adding and fighting and battling. Parents, when is he gonna get there? Never. Never. And tzaddikim and olam haba will continue to climb. Never. When's he gonna get there? Never. He's growing. That's our journey. That's our hopes. That's our dream. Adding. We have aspirations, extreme aspirations. Tol Shemayim. V'shavta Hashem lekecha. We have extreme aspirations. We want him to be Avram. Was Avram there? Avram was criticized. Avram was called out for saying to God, "B'ma edak yerishenu." The Gemara Nedarim recounts 3 sins of Avram that the Torah records. It's a process of growing, of being a Kaddish Shemayim. And the goal is to grow, is to add. So we all exist in a world of aspirations. The danger of a world of aspirations, in a world that there is, I'm adding, is you can have that you're never sameach b'chelkai. You can give up the fight because, listen, she's still, so you give up the fight. And what must exist in a world of aspiration, you cannot enter the world of aspiration if you don't have a sameach b'chelkai. If you can't make a kiddush that somebody said one bracha, somebody said one prayer, this is not a leniency. This is not against, we're shooting for the world. I want guys to be huge, shas, paiskin, everything, fiery yidden. We're shooting for the world. A person cannot succeed in our world of aspirations that are high, that are strong, that are forever, if they don't learn to celebrate success. I would like to share a scenario that I am talking about real, and it's not your son, there are guys across the yeshiva at the end of a tremendously successful year. The Beis Mesh, you're here today, there wasn't one meeting to the guys, look like this, say this. I wanted the fathers go to the Beis Medrash. I watched that Beis Medrash daily. It's on fire. First Seder, second Seder, ninth Seder. What's going on here is impressive and serious in growth. But I want to share a little bit of an extreme scenario to bring out a point that's relevant to my life, your life, and all our lives. Please hear this. Picture a kid who was bullied second, third, fourth, fifth, felt rejected, felt pushed off, who has no plans to partake in Yiddishkeit, who's looking, I'm going to speak open, who's watching pornography at the age of 7th grade, who feels totally lost and gone and hopeless, and has no plans to steig and grow. Inside is full of a profound sadness, loneliness, and yiyush, complete giving up hope. Okay? Then he goes off to high school, and more rejection, more feeling of hopelessness, more feeling of sadness, more feelings of just loss. Nothing will change, nothing will be different. Now picture our youngster goes to 11th grade, and his parents say, okay, we'll send to Waterbury, we're stuck. Okay. The options have all expired, and he comes to write a stick in his embrace. 3 months in, he is loved, he's respected, he's understood. And his entire life, he's optimistic, he has hopes. He joins the sulam, the ladder of growth. Now his growth might not be what his mother understands. You don't know what he's thinking, what he's doing, but all of a sudden he's happier. He's doing better, he's optimistic. He has, because by the way, his observance may look worse. It may look worse. Sometimes mom actually becomes honest and she finds out about some breaches in observance. And sometimes he even does worse things. He's exploring being healthier, the root things. I have become an address in the last year since COVID, a bizarre address to the yeshiva guy who was doing great and suddenly at 20 is not from. Suddenly at 25 or 30 is not from. And I get so frustrated when he was the best in his yeshiva. Why did nobody notice that he was sad? Why did nobody notice that every litmus test of what it'll be when he's 50 looks bad, comes up bad? If your son at 17 is happy and says, I love my Rebbe, I like my yeshiva, people say in yeshiva, trust the process, that it's one big wink of an eye. When we say trust the process, you know what the process is? Your son, our son. The process means trust your son. I wanted to talk about this kid's growth. He's in 11th grade and he's happy. He feels friendship. He thinks about a future. Now there are two mothers involved, two fathers. If mom gets it, sees he's happy, sees the excitement, that there's optimism, that there's hope, he doesn't fight with his sister as much, and she's sameach, she has a joy and an excitement, she becomes a powerful force in his continued growth. However, if mom, I'm just nervous, is he going to get to the next step? He knows what we're thinking. Our children know what we're thinking. But I'm just nervous, he's going to get to the next step. You are teaching a lie, you're teaching falsehood. Because in the world of aspirations, if there's no sameach b'chelkai, nobody is there, not me, not you, not anybody we know. It's a world of growth, of adding, it's a fight. This world's a war, it's a battle. If he has grown and he's a happier person, the goal, our aspirations are till the skies. We have all the aspirations. I have watched the mother who gets it, the father who gets it and celebrates their son's success, propels him for the next step and the next step. And the mother and father that are cynical, that are saying, yeah, but I know he's nice to his sister today, but I know, but. And that person refuses to allow a sameach b'chelkai. Understand in our own journeys we have uncertainty also. He also knows what he's not. And by a parent highlighting that, they destroy his growth. Equally, two things frustrate me equally in chinuch. The top guy in the yeshiva who nobody cares if he's happy is depressing. Because any intelligent person knows it's going to explode. It's not going to last. It's not built to last. These are the two most frustrating scenarios in chinuch. The guy who's steiging and nobody's home to ask, is he happy? Is he comfortable? Does he have those ingredients that says this will last? Will he be a good husband? Is he optimistic? That frustrates me. And equal frustrating is the person who's adding, but the parents are worried instead of celebrating. We all have aspirations, great ones, climb. Learn to celebrate for ourselves. This is not cheap. This doesn't contradict aspirations. It's the only way to allow aspirations to work. We live in an amazing world Hashem designed of awesome madregas that we can climb all our lives. If you're at chakras, you can concentrate better. And if you concentrate well, you can concentrate much, much better. There's always levels and madregas. The only way to be successful in our world of ladders, of b'nei aliyah, of being a growing person, is to have samech b'chelpei, is to learn to celebrate successes. It is not pretend. It is not limiting. It's empowering and encouraging and allows for the journey that we have. When somebody leaves the Beis Medrash, there's a prayer they say, Ani, thank you Hashem, shesamta chelki b'Yerush Beis Medrash. Thank you Hashem that I learned. We would sit by the door and say, I didn't learn the whole time with my arusa. Did I really? We would ask questions. That's not the job when you leave the Beis Medrash. At the end of every learning experience, a person says, thank you Hashem for the opportunity. I want to briefly describe the 3-year program that's Waterbury, because it applies to me, to you, and to every Jew in the world. And I want to say every 60-year-old Lakewood Koil Yogama needs 10th grade of Waterbury. Everybody needs 11th and 12th. It has nothing to do with this yeshiva. It's called Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And it's every human being needs these 3 madregas. And all our life, make sure you're still in 10th grade. Make sure you still have 11th and 12th. So briefly, 10th grade is to fall in love with Yiddishkeit. We can push, force, fight, beg. Is your son in love? I love my Rebbe, is 10th grade. I love my yeshiva. All of us have to fall in love with Yiddishkeit. You have to take good care of yourself. Fall in love with Yiddishkeit. Nothing to do with production, nothing. Who we are, not what we do. Who we are, deeper than what we do, who we are. Fall in love with Yiddishkeit, it's 10th grade. For some guys it takes a month, a day. Some guys have it already. Some guys it takes 3-4 years. Fall in love with Yiddishkeit, that's Avraham Avinu. For Yitzchak, step 2 is value the service of Hashem, not in context of what you're becoming. A guy comes to Shachris, it's not, oh, you're getting there. No, he came to Shachris. Not in terms of what you're becoming. To make one bracha is worth it to live for. To make one bracha, this is real stuff. You need it, I need it. You come and you pray to Hashem, your life is worth it. There are angels that are created and they go up in smoke and never exist again. They say one time in their life, Kadosh, 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 Hashem Tzemachos, Maloi Chor's Kvodah, and they cease to exist. A person's worth to be created to make one bracha. One act. If you don't appreciate 100 times 0 is 0. 11th grade is not, no Rebbe would say, oh, better, you're not getting there. All of us are getting there. You're davening. You came to a shir, not in context of becoming. And we need that all our life. All of us need 11th grade. The value of a mitzvah, the value of one ma'aser taiva, of one good deed, one act of kindness. Not you're getting there. You've done a mitzvah. You've accomplished, life's worth it. You did a mitzvah. One time you make hamaisi. One time you bench. You're not getting there. You bench. You're there. You're connected to Hashem. That's 11th grade. 12th grade there is something called MS, Yaakov Avinu. We're putting everything together and becoming something, a mentorship, creating a day, creating a person. There's something to that. And that's 12th grade. There are all three aspects. Many 12th graders were working on 10. Many 12th graders are completing 11. Many 12th graders are completing 12. It is a process. Trust the process does not mean us. You're not trusting me. You're not trusting your zone. You're not trusting Shapiro. It's another way of saying trust your son. It's another way of saying trust Hashem. It's another way of saying trust the Torah. The process is a cute word we use for Hashem, for your son, and for Torah. And I say to us all, that mother that celebrates her son's success, without a what? I see he's better to his sister. I'm making a kiddush. I'm fired up. I'm excited. You save your kid's life and yours also. Because that's the ingredient necessary to climb Sameach B'Chelta. So all of us should be Zaycha, all the precious, the Holy Mother should be Zaycha. All of us having our own Avodah, Sameach B'Chelta. A joy and a celebration of our successes. It allows for the amazing world of aspiration. We're a world we aspire for a lot. This yeshiva shooting for it all. Till Hashem. Till Hashem, we want it all. We want to run. We're not, a parent will tell me bringing the kid, I'm just happy if he's a mensch. I'm not. Because you're putting a cap. You're putting a cap. So just be a mensch, I'll be happy. I don't think like that. I want him to be a yid, not a mensch. Amongst the things to acquire as a mensch, there's a lot. A yid is endless. It's a lifetime of climbing, a beautiful, amazing life of climbing. We're not settling here. This is not a place of settling. I want them. We've experienced 12 years of B'nai Torah that are serious, that are on fire, that are dancing with passion and fire. To begin this climb, to be serious about the climb, you have to learn to celebrate success without a but. If the but is there, but I'm nervous, so being alive means you're nervous because they're endless madrigas. We all have endless levels. Celebrate the success without a but. Pray for continued success. You will be handing your child and yourself the gift of eternity, the gift of being a climber, the gift of being successful in the world of aspirations. So this scene, Rabbi said, these two things, to the bacher who's learning day and night, I want to make sure he has the inner things that allow him to happen tomorrow and the next day as well. Eternity of climbing. To the bacher who has climbed 2 rungs, I want to celebrate his success without a but. I want to mention specifically a mother here whose son has invested in the yeshiva bright and early. He's in the base medrash. I love seeing him. He's here early. He built the library for the yeshiva. He's dedicated. I want to thank Mrs. Wilbur and Shlomo.